So good afternoon everyone. Today our topic will be like the authentication security foundations and the best practices. So when it comes to the interconnected devices landscape, the robust authentication and security paramount. The authentication verifies user identity while security safeguards values of digital assets. When the consistent evolutions of cybersecurity and cyber threats are adopting the strong authentication methods and comprehensive security measures in no longer optimal but a critical necessary for the individual and organizations are like we will see in the future, we will see in the past. Next slides. So the core concepts of the authentication with this authorization. So we will see what is authentication and authorization. So authentication is a process of verifying the user identity, ensuring that they are also claiming the data. So the first step, the granting access for the systems and the local services. So authorization is nothing but it determines what the authentically uses and permits the access for the data user to the systems. When the device has specific rights and the permissions are granted to the user, ensuring that they are the only perform actions like authorized for based on the help and the packages, role of packages that they are allowing. So the common authentication methods are something you know. When this factor includes credentials like passwords, PIN or security questions, while widely used, they are vulnerable and guessing the brutal forces attack is not strong or the proper managed. Something you are. When something is you are, biometric authorization relies on the unique biometric characters such as fingerprints, facial recognition, iris scanning and the voice patterns. So something you have. When this factor involves physical items such as smart cards, USB security tokens, mobile phones receiving the one-time passcodes, OTPs, etc. This physical presence of the devices adds a strong layer for the security. So password security fundamentals. First one is hashing with salt. So, passwords such as should never be stored in a plain text. Instead, they are hashed to perform unique salt value added to the each password, SALT. When it makes to the incredible difference between the reserve engineering passwords for the compromised database. Length and complexity, enforcing the minimum length of 8 characters, preferable more complexity will be like minimums of uppercase and lowercase symbols, numbers, symbols, etc. So this effectively increase the difficulties of guessing the cracking the password through brutal force methods. So account lockout implementing an account lockout policies when the account is temporarily or permanently locked after a specified number or failed to log in attempts effectively threats brutal forces attack by limiting the numbers of guesses. Expirations and history. Regular passwords expiring policies commonly within history policy to prevent user for ensuring reset the passwords, ensuring the predictable periodic changes and reduces the risk associated with the compromised credentials over the time. So the multi-factor authentications. Multi-factor authentication is a security system that requires more than one method of authentication, independent categories of credits to verify the user identity for the login or other transactions. So the first one is the user. When it comes to the second password, it will be like entering the password. Second one is receiving the code and then access is granted. So this will be the multi-factor authentication. Challenging responsible authentication protocol will be like prover user. So that is initial authentication holds the secret key. Challenge set verification set unique or random challenging to the prover. Response granted, that is a prover continues computers to response uses the challenges and their secret keys. Response verified is when it sends to proves when it sends to the responsible to the verification when the computer they owned is expected to the campaigns. Verifier authentication with prover without any even the secrets, learning the secrets. So the public key and the certified based authentication. Asymmetric cryptographic when every user will grants a key with the public key and the private key. The next is digital certified. Digital certified is an electronic document that is issued by the trusted certification authentications. Common threats and mitigations. Threats will be like mitigations is categorized by the threat. So dictionary brute force attack, it uses the password hashing with the salt, ensuring the strong password policies and the implement account lockouts. So phishing and social engineering, deploying multi-factor authentication, conduct regular user educations and awareness training. They implement email filtering to the block malicious links. Weak password recovery will be like implementing secure passwords reset mechanism, avoid knowledge-based questionnaires easy found in the public. Data interruptions and tampering, utilizes secure communication channels like TLS and SSL to encrypt data to transmit within the integrity. So the best practices for strong authentication, first one is policies and the MFF, implementing the strict enforced strong passwords, combining length, capacity, history requirements and other multi-factor authentications. Secure credentials storages will never store credentials in a plain text. So account lockouts and monitoring, implement account lockout policies will prevent the brute force attack. User education will educate the user to importance of strong and the unique password for the danger of phishing, social engineering and public Wi-Fi, fostering the awareness within the organization. System update and patching will ensure all authentication systems, operating system and the other applications are regularly updated and patched. This addresses the known vulnerability that attacks could exploit the bypass security measures. So the summary and the takeaway of this presentation will be like the authentication is critical. Multi-factor layer securities will be like the challenging responsible protocols that is follow-upping in the security world. Continuous vigilance will the cyber threats landscapes is continually evolving. Regular updates, monitoring and adapting the new threats are essentials. Implementation best practices are authoring the strong policies, secure credential storages and user education, reduces the risk and the built force in the digital system. Thank you.